Hey YouTube, Gotham Comics here with my first video of February. I believe this is my third of 2016, so I'm a little bit late with this. This is actually a tag by Marco08, my good Hawaiian collector friend. He asked us to list out our top 10 books that we're hunting for in 2016. Let me also add that this will be a haul too. I've got plenty of books to show you, believe me. I'm actually going to take a look. That many books. But first, let's get through with this. So my top 10 books. Amazing Spider-Man number 14. Amazing Spider-Man 13. Amazing Spider-Man 15. X-Men 141, Days of Future Past. The first three, I'm sure you all know what they are. Green Goblin, Mysterio, Kraven the Hunter. 5 is FF48. 6 is Amazing Spider-Man 121, The Death of Gwen. 7, Marvel Spotlight number 5, First Ghost Rider. 8 is Marvel Preview 7. Beautiful cover. I kind of want it more for the beautiful cover, but it is also the first actual appearance of Rocket Raccoon. 9, Amazing Spider-Man number 9, First Electro. 10, Avengers 57, First Vision. And then I couldn't fit in Peter Parker Spider-Man number 27, Marvel Premiere 15, FF52, and FF13. So, anyway, without further ado, here's my haul. And I'm starting out with this one here for basically one reason. It's that it's the biggest book I have size-wise. But this is Savage Tales number 1, first appearance of Man-Thing. I think this is a hugely underrated book, and it's actually kind of getting up there in price. But at a time when Marvel is going after characters like Groot in their Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think it makes sense to grab this, the first appearance of Man-Thing. It's a beautiful book. If you're patient, you can definitely find it for less than 80 bucks, but it's really hard, especially online. So, yeah. And the next few I'm just going to fly right through. Death of Wolverine, number 3. I was really kicking myself that I didn't pick up this series as it came out. Then I got a bunch of these. I love the artwork here. Marvel Feature 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, this is a 50-cent book, Warlock and the Infinity Watch, number 1. This is a key book, or it's a minor key anyway, because in this book you find out that the Living Tribunal is the force that is keeping all of the Infinity Stones from being used together. And he basically delegates Adam Warlock to kind of make sure that the Infinity Stones are used responsibly and not all at once. So, definitely a nice, easy pickup. Marvel Premiere 21, featuring Iron Fist. It's the first appearance of Misty Knight. She will likely appear in the Iron Fist TV show on Netflix. So, and this book is actually heating up. You can get it in a few places for about 10 bucks, but this is largely now a $15 book. X Factor number 5, first appearance of, oh man, what am I doing? Apocalypse. That was embarrassing. Yeah, first appearance of Apocalypse. I picked this up in a 50% off bin for $5. So, pretty happy. Now this book is really interesting. Web of Spider-Man, number 36. This is the first appearance of Tombstone. Really a nostalgia character in the sense that he came out of that 90s Spider-Man TV show. And this is really a $2 to $5 book. But so many people are queuing up on this book that finding it in those $2 bins is actually really hard. And so the next place to look for it is on eBay, where it's going for 10 and up. So this book, being found in $2 bins, those times are dwindling. They're coming to a close. So I would highly recommend going to your store or just hunting for this one and seeing if you can find it for, between $2 and $5. Because I do predict good things for this book in the future with Tombstone. Now everyone seems to be picking up this book lately. The What If, number 10. Jane Foster finding Thor's hammer. I'm not keen on kind of always being a follower versus a leader when it comes to collecting, but I had reason to believe this is a worthwhile investment. I picked it up for like 10 bucks. I was happy to do it, especially now that Marvel is going the female Thor route. This is technically the first female Thor, even though they rebooted the Thor series last year. So, yeah, and this is another book that the days of finding this in a $2 bin are definitely dwindling. I mean, I myself paid $10 for it, so. And The Punisher #4, first appearance of Microchip. I picked this up thanks to a recommendation by Jimmy C. Microchip is the Punisher's kind of sidekick, kind of controls his, doesn't control, but manages his equipment and his weapons, so definitely seemed worthwhile to pick up. Now this is a really underrated book in my opinion. Daredevil #197, first appearance of Lady Deathstrike. This is just a key character in X-Men lore. She does make another appearance in Alpha Flight, which is kind of this book and that book. I think it's Alpha Flight 33 are kind of considered hand-in-hand her first appearances. But this is a way better cover, and it's tough to find. Like, it's not necessarily an expensive book, but it's really just hard to locate. This will cost you, between $5 and $10. I paid $8 for this one. But yeah, I'd be on the lookout for it, because you never know when this character is going to heat up again. Alright, now we're getting into some really good 50 centers. Some Daredevils. So, Daredevil #295, the first time Matt Murdock and Ghost Rider meet. All these are 50 cents. Now, 297, 298, 299, and 300. That group of 4 books is the end of the Last Rites, but like the Fall of the Kingpin storyline. So, pretty important set of books. Definitely the keys there. And there's actually a website you can look up that tells you all the Daredevil keys, beyond the Silver Age. I was happy to pick all these up for 50 cents each. Best $2 I've spent. Or up there anyway for best $2 I've spent. This one was also 50 cents. If you look at it here, you can see why. There's some writing on the cover, but other than that, it's okay. This is Daredevil #27. I believe this is the death of Mike Murdock, Daredevil's father, and it's also the fake death of the Masked Marauder. It's a Silver Age book, and yeah, it has that name on it, but hey, for 50 cents, why not? Alright, so 50-cent books are done. Now we turn our attention to some of the bigger stuff in the pile. Time is really ticking to pick up this book with, now that we're in February, that Season 2 of Daredevil is coming out next March. And I had been really trying to get this book for over a year, really. And it's just hard. People know that it was coming, that Elektra would be involved in the Daredevil storyline. I refuse to pay more than $75 for this book, just on principle. Like, when you think about it, right, like, $75, that gets you halfway to a low-grade version of, like, Kraven the Hunter, Mysterio, even FF48, if we're being honest. And so it just didn't seem right to pay that much for this book. Like, she's a minor character. And she appears in Daredevil 168. She doesn't appear in Daredevil number 5 or 10 or whatever. Like, she's in 168. So I was happy to pick it up, but it had to be for the right price. This one here is in mid-grade. I'm happy with it. And yeah, so there's my Daredevil 168. And honestly, that's my advice to you. Like, do not overpay for this book. I get that you're running out of time to get it if you haven't gotten it yet, but they're just don't overpay for it. It's not worth it. Alright, I lied when I said we'd be going to higher priced books. I'd recommend picking up these two. It's Defenders #66 and 67. These are the origin stories of Valkyrie. In my last video I showed you Avengers 83, which is the first appearance of Valkyrie the character. Except in that story, Valkyrie is actually the Enchantress. She makes her full first appearance as the character Valkyrie in Defenders #4. But these two books here are a story arc that go into her actual origin. And this cover here is absolutely gorgeous. I love her on that cover. So, highly recommend you pick these two up. Time, honestly, is running out for you to pick these up. They will get hotter as Thor the Ragnarok comes out. Alright, a drug issue of Amazing Spider-Man. For those of you that don't know, I'm trying to collect a run of 1 to 100. I'm over halfway there, though I still have just about halfway to go. This was about 15 bucks. It's actually in really great shape, except for a tiny chip up here, which you can't see. But I was happy to pick this up for the price. And it is a drug issue, so it's historically significant, besides being number 97 and a Goblin story. Okay, last two books. I'm going to combine them into a little bit of a lesson for you here. So this is Captain America number 360. This is the first full appearance of Crossbones. And I'm going to put Crossbones in quotations here, because if anyone who owns this book knows that he's only in basically 2 panels. The issue with this book is that it's creeping up there in cost, and I got suckered into buying it for like 40 bucks. And the only reason I bought it was because it was a key. I didn't really buy it because, I wanted to buy it. I bought it because it was a key, because Captain America's coming out. And this is just a reminder to me, like, you can be disappointed. This is a Bronze Age book that is, it makes it easy to be disappointed. Because, like, it's not always about the keys. Like, not every key needs to be bought. And for me, this is an example. Like, now that I have it, I've got it. But, like, it's 40 bucks. It's kind of like the Daredevil 168. Like, you can spend that money in different ways and get closer to a bigger book. So this is, 40 bucks. I didn't spend this 40 bucks particularly wisely. Which, brings me to my next book. And it's the last one in the pile. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 7. And as I mentioned before, I'm really into the Amazing Spider-Man books. It's my favorite series of all time. Now this book here has a bit of a spine roll, but it's otherwise complete. It's got great colors, the interior is beautiful. This is without a doubt the best Amazing Spider-Man story I've ever read. It's just so beautiful, the art is gorgeous, like, it's just perfect. It was listed in my store for about $150. The owner of the store got in this huge collection, Amazing Fantasy 15 plus numbers 1 through 400. And so I came late in the day, and this was one of the only ones left. He had $150 on it. I offered him $120. He took it. And I did it because, it's just a good price to help me knock down all those Spider-Man books. And the reality is, like, this isn't a key. This is the first appearance of Vulture, but it's not a key. But it's just a great story. And I'm happier of having this book, an early Spider-Man that's a great story, that's got great artwork, than having this book, which is a key. So, you know what? I see a lot of videos out there, and like I'm guilty of it myself, that focus kind of exclusively on the keys. Like, at the end of the day, it's a hobby for your enjoyment. And sometimes, going after the keys can be like really stressful and a financial burden. Just like, don't be afraid to go after books like this every now and again that don't have a key to them, that are just good, solid Silver Age books. So, I'm not hating on those who go after keys. Like I said, I do it myself. But this is just a good reminder, like, have a different perspective about it. Like, it's okay not to go after keys every now and again. So anyway, that's my haul. Those are my top 10 books that I'm after in 2016. And if anybody wants to trade with these, or has them, and I can, give you cash for them, let me know. Just message me. I'd totally be down. And actually, you can follow me on Instagram too. I'm at JayCard92. So yeah. Let me hear from you. Anyway, I'll see you later, guys. Gotham Comics with an X out.